Okay, so now you know what a variable is, let's have a go at coding some in Python. So the first thing I'm going to do is give my variable a name. So I'm going to call this first one my name. Now, what you need to remember about naming your variables, as you should have just read, is that you can't have a space in between any words that you put in them. So even though I've called the variable my name, I haven't put a space, I've just capitalised the first letter of the second word, and this is called camel casing, and this is how some programmers get around the no spaces in variable names issue. Next thing I'm going to do is put my equals. So I'm going to create my variable and assign it some data, and the data I'm going to give it is going to be my name, which is going to be Mr. Reed. I can then use my variable by printing it out, so I could print out my name, and you'll notice I've used the name that I've given my variable instead of the data inside of it. So if I run this now, you'll see that it's going to print to the console when it's connected. There we go, Mr. Reed, because that's the data that's inside of my name. I can also concatenate my variables with strings. So I could say print out hello and then concatenate that with the value that's inside my name. So if I run that now, it'll say hello Mr. Reed. I can also create variables, for example my age, and I'm going to set that equal to 30, and then what I can do is print out my age, and I'm going to run this and you'll see it says hello Mr. Reed 30. I can also do some maths with the data inside of my variable. So if it's an integer, which it is, I'm going to print out now my age plus 22. So when I run it this time, it says hello Mr. Reed, and instead of 30, it's outputting 52, just there. Now I can concatenate or use the values inside of my variables if they're integers with strings. So what I could do if I get rid of this print statement is I could say hello whatever's stored in my name plus I'm going to add another string, you are, and then I'm going to add my age and then the string years old. Now when I try and run this, I'm going to get an error because it's going to say that my age is currently an integer and you can't concatenate integers and strings together. So one way of getting around that is to cast this by using the str keyword just before the variable my age. And what this is going to do is turn it into a string. So if I run this now, it says, hello Mr. Reed, you are 30 years old. So I'll have a play around with variables, see what you can do, and then have a go at the quiz and the debugging challenge that are coming up in the assignment.